Today, we're going to create a landing page that actually converts using a very simple drag and drop web editor. We're going to end up using the Lofty software, the Lofty CRM, but this will work on any new modern CRM. My name is KyleKrch, personally sold over $1 billion in real estate, built, scaled, and sold a 200 agent real estate brokerage. And now we've taken all of that knowledge over the last 25 some odd years, and we've put it into our Pareto Success Academy. So all the links, all the graphics, all the tutorials, everything that you're going to need, you're going to have actually access to free inside of the Pareto Success Academy in school. And of course, there will be links below as well if you're not quite there yet. So love to see you on the inside. So the key with landing pages, right, is to make sure that we don't give them more information that they're looking for. So in this case, our marketing message, let's say it's on Facebook Marketplace, the headline says, "Amazing upkeep with quality craftsmanship." Okay, so as soon as they click on that ad, we want to show them exactly what they're expecting. No surprises, no baits and switch, right? So our text is very clear: amazing upkeep with quality craftsmanship. And then these photos that are scrolling fairly quickly, you'll notice there's 3 of them. Those are the exact same 3 photos we also use in those ads. And in this case, let's go ahead and just say we're using a Facebook Marketplace ad. Then underneath that, you have saved 25K on these homes. Ask us how. View the best homes below. Okay, so a couple of things, right? We need to, as realtors, make sure that we are not suffering from the SSS disease or the same service syndrome. Okay, we all blend together. You need to way to stand out from the rest of your competition. And we do that on the inside of the academy with our no-brainer offers. Now, our ability to virtually save clients $25,000 on virtually any home on the market stems from our Mortgage Concierge. Now, the Mortgage Concierge is a pretty simple concept, but agents don't do it because they don't physically have the bandwidth to do this. So what we do is we come in, we create a Mortgage Concierge for you. So it looks like it's your Mortgage Concierge. So again, this is your team. You actually have a dedicated, what we call, client success manager. And they come in, and every time that you send a client to them, they introduce themselves as your client success manager, and they are your Mortgage Concierge team lead. Now, what they do is they get your client's lending information, right? They help them submit that to one of our first, what we call our baseline lender, to get their first pre-approval. And then simply, we help them shop multiple lenders. Now, the lenders that we usually have the most success with are ones that we call flat organizational lenders. Big lenders that came out since COVID really reduce their overhead and reduce their costs and have been able to pass along those savings to their clients. On average, you're going to save your client about 0.25% over your traditional retail mortgage lender, the one that you're probably your favorite lender that takes you to lunch every week. They don't pay for those lunches. You don't pay for those lunches. Your client pays for those lunches in the results of higher interest rates at the end of the day. So that's where this $25,000, you're going to see this as a recurring theme throughout these landing pages. Okay, so then as we scroll down, you get into what they're looking for. Now, here it is again: amazing upkeep with quality craftsmanship. Exactly, that's the headline that they clicked on. This is what we want to show them instantly. Now, all of these homes, when they click on them, in the remarks, it says something about one of these keywords. So I believe this one's going to say craftsmanship. Okay, so that's how you can create these custom filters inside of your IDX search. I'm going to show you how to do a keyword filter because that's usually the easiest way to do this. And then you come down to a final call to action. Here you go again, save $25,000 on your next home. Download the ebook here. When they click download, it takes them to the actual a Canva, actually this document right here. And this is their ebook. And again, it takes them to a digital version of the ebook. This shows them step by step on exactly how you can save them $25,000, and it explains your entire Mortgage Concierge process that, of course, you also get access to completely free in the Academy. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. And also, before we get into the step-by-step tutorial, let me show you one other thing. This right here, this is what's going to look like when they click the Facebook Marketplace ad, right? So imagine this: they see these 3 photos that are scrolling through here in this ad with amazing upkeep, quality craftsmanship. Okay, so then they click on the link and it brings them here. Oh, amazing upkeep, something craftsmanship. Okay, so they know they're in the right place. Save 25K on these, I'm guessing, homes. So now they're intrigued, right? They instantly like, oh, this looks familiar. And then what happens at home is that these photos in the background are identical. Then this is the key. You need to make sure that you update your registration splash pages to that they pop up instantly. Notice I cannot scroll down to look at the other properties, right? That is protected behind this registration page. Before they can get access to that, they have to submit their information, hence the lead conversion. Because again, of course, that is the business that we are in taking great care of our clients. But before we take great care of them, we need to get them. This is how you can get them, how you can attract them. So unlock your direct MLS. Access and save 20K. Now, do not disregard the power you guys have with your IDX feeds. These are your direct IDX feeds directly from the MLS. A lot of benefits there. One, you can control things. For instance, you can control that you show your clients not only just the actives, but you also tell them that it's also active pending contingent home, right? That those homes are gone. Some of the big portal sites, sometimes they don't show them all of the information that would be extremely useful to your clients. Search like an agent. Yep, they basically get access to all of our filters. Stop missing out on homes, kind of feed into that fear of missing out a bit. And then learn how to save 20K plus on these homes. Your personal data will not be sold unlike other sites. Oh, now a lot of your clients are going to be able to relate to this, right? You know this. We go to any of the big portal sites that as soon as you put your information in there, that information can be sold to multiple agents, and that poor client is just getting hammered by multiple agents again and again and again, trying to get their attention. So what will happen is that you can stand out by saying, hey, we're not going to sell your data unlike some of these other sites, especially in these days where we all hate, absolutely hate being sold. That is becoming more and more popular. All right, let's go ahead and log into your Lofty account. And remember, you can do this with any modern real estate CRM that has a drag and drop editor. Most of them do. One of the biggest keys here, of course, is one of the reasons you can't do this in Wix or Squarespace or any of those other ones is that the IDX integrations with those are tricky, a little more expensive, and a little wonky, right? So if you go with any of the major CRMs, I would highly recommend it. Now, I personally don't use a Lofty CRM itself, but I do use your IDX functions, and then I go ahead and I use a Zapier to put that down into our Accelerator CRM, which is very customizable, very robust, and does some really cool things like even dropping voicemails for you where their phone doesn't ring. It literally just puts the voicemail right there, text, emails, a whole 9 yards. So that's all completely done for you in these Accelerator CRMs that our teams use. All right, so once we're in marketing, go ahead and scroll down to landing pages. And we're going to click on Add New Landing Page. Once you're under Add New Landing Page, scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to find Build Your Own. The reason we don't use any of these templates is, guess what? As soon as the registration page pops up, down here in the bottom left-hand side or in any of these, it shows them a lot of the information that they're already looking for. More pictures, prices, things like that. So we really need to restrict that. So that's why we have to use these build your own select templates. You can always tell when non-marketing real estate agents actually build these CRMs because they don't use the building blocks of really good landing pages that actually convert. How we learned this was after years and years and years being in the trenches and figuring out what actually works and what actually doesn't work. So, new page. We're going to go ahead and this would be the name of your headline. So, let me go ahead and let's get a headline here. Yeah, new homes with a pool. So in my area, pools aren't, there's not a lot of them, so our search won't be very robust, but this will give you an idea of some of the keywords that we'll end up using. So again, think of this as what is really popular in your area. Is it horse property? Is it pools? Is it spacious lots? Is it city views? Is it frontage to a canal? Is it oceanfront? Those are the things that really start to move the needle. Some things that we've always had success with are detached garages, larger lots, move-in ready, the keyword move-in ready. And actually tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to say move-in ready instead. So our search is a little bigger. Move-in ready with views. Okay, move-in ready with views. So lead source, go ahead and what you can do is put in just your landing page. We put in the Pareto Success Academy just so we know where these are coming from. But again, you can put in the name of your website, just something to identify it's coming from your landing page. And then you'll see the URL is street78.com, which is my URL / move-in ready with views. Also, it's really going to help you on SEO, keyword searches, things like that, more advanced things we won't talk about today. Go ahead and hit save. And now you have a blank template. Okay, so you got your header, you got your footer. Now, some people are like, hey, Kyle, it's a landing page. Why are you putting the header and footer? We do put in the headers and footers because when you go to those pages, it dumps them right into our other existing, more elaborate funnels anyways. So if they're not quite ready though, we get ready to put in their information. We do give them that outlet to get into our site. Now, you can test both. We've tested both, and putting in a non-distracting header that goes specifically to the products that they're still looking for still works, right? If they're a buyer, didn't like that house, they click on buyers, and then they can get into our other search, which also requires them to register. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is hit plus, because again, now what we're going to do is we are going to create these photos and this text. So hit the plus block, and you're going to scroll down and click on hero right here. And then you're going to click on this one. What you're looking for is any hero slide, if you're not in Lofty right now, with a very large photo and text. You don't want any other squares. You don't want any other graphics. Okay, you got to keep this simple. So you're going to drag this and drop it. So you see drag block here, and you're releasing. And now there you go. We actually have the inner makings of it. So once we do this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to enter the editing section of this. So we're going to click on edit. And eventually I'm going to show you how to come back and create some AI photos to replace the photos with photos that represent homes typically found in these areas. Right now, we're going to skip past that. And we're just going to click on content. And this is where we're going to type in our description. So I believe we said move in ready with views. There you go, move in ready with views. Now, go ahead and move that to a 72.4 font. And use your justification right here and move that to the center. And then we're going to put in our tagline so we stand out. What's our no-brainer offer? Well, any buyer that works with us, we can help them save $25,000 or more, usually a lot more, on virtually any home in the market. So I'm going to paste that right here. We're going to change this to 34 point. And we're going to also justify it in the center. There we go. Okay, so now, again, they come here. They came from an ad that says move in ready with views. They see it instantly. Last thing we're going to want to do is we're going to do our alignment. We're going to move that to the center. So now we need to add the listing function or the listing widget. So hit plus again, click on listings. The one I personally like to use is this one right here. It's got 5 black and white photos and then some text. So drag that and drop it over. Nice thing about the black and white photos, once you hover over the top of it, it changes it to the full colors. It's very eye-catching. So same thing, we're going to enter the edit section. So click end or edit right here. And same thing, featured listings. We don't want featured listings. We want move in ready with a view. We're going to go ahead and change this to 34 point font as well. Going to click off and watch what happens right here. It says featured listing. Watch this. Move in ready with a view. Pretty cool. Now we're going to scroll down again and keep going until we find preset filter. Now this is the key because when they click on these filters, they are expecting to see move-in ready homes with a view. Don't want to get your new lead off to a bad foot or bad relationship when you say that you're going to send them something and then all of a sudden these properties don't make sense. So this preset filter is very important to get right. So I'm going to click the edit button right here. And this is the way I like to make sure that I'm working in only the area that I want to work in. So for me, I live and work in Reno, Nevada. So I type in Reno, Nevada. It's going to center, or it's going to get me close. There we go. There's Reno. And then, so this is Reno. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, basically on the heart of my area, in the heart of Reno. And then I'm going to click or hover over draw and click radius. Then I'm going to choose, for me, anywhere between 50 and 30 miles. So for me, 50 miles away works really well. Gets me into some of the more outlying areas that we have team members that do business. Going to go and close it. So now this is a 50-mile radius from the center of my city. That's basically where I work. Then we're going to come over here. I'm going to click on more. And so this is where you have all of the filters, and a majority of the filters you actually have access yourself inside of your MLS. You actually also have them here. So listing status, I'm going to go ahead and mark this as active only. I'm only going to show them active homes. Again, don't want to do a bait switch. Bed and bath. Remember, our keyword here is move-in ready with views. So let's make sure these are move-in ready homes with views. That's all we want to do. Purchase type, I'm going to say for sale, so you get rid of the renters. Or if you're going after renters, also very effective, right? Just depending on what market that you're in. Property type, I'm going to go ahead and just put single family. Days on market, I'm not going to do that here. Kitchen, don't need it. Keyword, okay. Move-in ready is a great keyword. So I'm going to click more right here. You're going to see what's going to happen. It went from 3,000 properties to 276. Every single property here has the words move-in ready inside of the agent's remarks. Is it going to be perfect? No, but it's going to get you about 95% there. Now, we said with a view though. So now I'm going to go and scroll down, and I have, for this section, is going to be views. Now, when you do it, depending on what your MLS that you're in, all of these are going to look a little bit different. You may have more features, a little less features, but you will have enough. You will have the keyword feature where you can set up the filters in the same way, but it may just look just a bit different. So I'm going to click on views, and I'm going to say city views. And let's see how many we have now. 21 properties. Now, this is a very specific list that people don't have to do the work. Now, again, don't discount the ease effect. People really like to hit the easy button. So if you can give this to them on a silver platter, even if they never thought about looking at move-in readies with a view, but when they hear it, like, ooh, that sounds really nice. They click it, they can tell there's some properties there. They're willing to give you your information to hit that easy button, right? So they can get access to these very cool properties, and they're intrigued as well while saving potentially $25,000. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and price low to high. Make sure that you always have price low to high as your search function. So it shows them the lowest price homes first. Then we're going to go ahead and click OK. And congratulations, you have your first filter complete. So when they click on this, that's what they're going to see is just those 22 homes or so. Now we're going to keep scrolling down, and I don't want more. I want to see more, a little bit more descriptive, a little bit better call to action there. Okay, so when I click off, what happens to more? See more. Okay, so now we have that set. Last but not least, we need to put in our call to action. So, and again, this is really not, we've already kind of gone past the call to action. So this is more almost about providing additional free value. So about building more relationship that not only are showing them these homes, but you're also going to educate them. The number one form of marketing is education. So you're going to educate them with your white paper. And again, this is why I ordered this ebook, which again, you have access to these links to these ebooks all inside of the Pareto Success Academy for free. So we're going to go and click on plus again. We're going to scroll down until we find CTAs. Then we are going to look for this large photo with this box with a smaller box inside of it. Again, we want this large photo that they're going to see, and we want it to be what's called a parallax photo. You're going to know what that means as soon as you see this, but you've seen it before on cooler looking websites where the photo, they're scrolling down and the photo seems to be moving. So it's a cool effect. So anyways, we're going to take this, drag it, and drop it. And there's that parallax effect. So pretty cool by itself, but I bet we can make it even better. So we actually have another graphic that I'll show you. This is the graphic that we put in the background. Save $25,000 in your next home, download the ebook now, and it even shows them what the ebook is going to look like. So go and jump into the Academy. You can go ahead and download this. And once you have it downloaded to your computer, go and click on Edit, which we're already there. Over the desktop image, click Edit, and then click on Replace. And here's my ebook cover art version 4, which is the version that you guys have access to. Go ahead and hit OK. And then hit Add. And then all of a sudden, you can see what it looks like in the background, right? You can put anything back there. It's very cool. And also use Canva. You can get access to the template. You can edit it if you want a photo that looks a little bit more representative of your market, maybe beachy, islandy, mountainy, whatever the case is. Okay, next one. We don't want work with us. We want download the ebook here. So I'm going to scroll down until I see work with us. Okay, so we don't want that. We want download the ebook here. Perfect. And when I click off, you can see what happens. Great. And then we want this underneath. So So I'm going to replace their descriptive text with this text. I'm going to go ahead and change that to 20. And it says, oops, let's try it again. I'm going to highlight it, change it to 20. So learn how our Mortgage Concierge program will save you $25,000 on virtually any home on the market. Very cool. Now, we don't want them to contact us. We want them to download now. So download now. And then when they click on the button, so they type, it's a URL kind of button. So they click on, it's going to take them to a URL. We don't want to take them to our contact page. We want them to take them to the actual ebook right here. So again, inside the Academy, you're going to have this link. So let me go ahead and let me grab the link. It's called a public view link that you're going to get access to. And again, this will be your template because you actually have access to the template itself. So then you could you can even make this ebook a little bit more designed specifically for your market. Maybe put on your face, your contact information from the ebook itself. So I just went and copied that URL, going to paste it right in there. So that's going to take them right to this, this digital. It's not a PDF anymore because the great thing about not sending PDFs is that you can update this link and everyone who has access to all your websites, everything else is instantly updated because the link doesn't change. Just the data that the link is tied to changes. Okay, so that link is in there and we are set. I'm going to go ahead and hit now publish to save our work. It means the website is now live. And we are officially live. So now if you want, we can go ahead. We're going to click this little globe icon here and you can see exactly what it's going to look like. Very cool. Go and click on the see more, all the information. All right, so we're making good progress. Not quite done yet though. So now one of the most important parts, you probably noticed the pop-up did not pop up. This is why. Pop-up content. Okay, so we don't want you to create your free account. We don't want any of this. This is stuff that every agent out there says. So we want something a lot more specific. We want unlock your direct MLS savings. And again, just remember, this pop-up is what we're editing. So if you're not inside Lofty, look for a registration pop-up editor. Okay, so unlock your direct MLS access. And we want that as a 24 point. Okay, it's already 24, perfect. Then the next one is going to be this. And again, all these cut and paste you can get from the Academy as well, but I just want to show it to all of you. So search like an agent. We're going to highlight this. We're going to change this to, I think, 24 or 22 font. And then everything else. Stop missing out on homes. Learn how to save $20,000 on these homes. Your personal data will not be sold. Change that to 16. Okay. And then instead of say thanks, we're going to update that thank you message. Set their expectations that we're going to reach out to them. Setting the expectations, we're going to reach out to them. So they would almost expect it and actually look forward to it because we can ask them questions about, hey, did you have any questions on the ebook? Would you like to see how much money you can save, right? It's very, again, educational first based. No one likes to be sold. Everyone likes to be entertained and educated. Okay, that's how you're going to be really successful. The money's in the education and how you present your market. So we're going to get rid of the thank you message and I'm going to paste it with this one. It simply says, thanks, we can't wait to see how much you can, or that you'll save. We'll reach out shortly. Okay, go and hit publish. So now let's go ahead and test it one more time. I'm going to open up the site. And, ooh, still the registration didn't pop up. Let's find out why. So we're going to go ahead and come back. Again, I'm under settings, basic info. We're going to scroll down and look, registration, how to trigger. Require registration based off page views. Now, this is very important. You want to do this right away. You don't want to give it any time at all. And so after they require registration based on page views, and if you move the page view here to 1, instantly when they view that page, it pops up and it says, hey, you need to register before you see this information. Another other piece of information, what you could do is under the meta page description, you could also add move in ready with views. Now, this is more of advanced level SEO, things like that. And that's going to come in very, very handy. But again, we don't have time to get into all of that today. Also, SNS cover photo, also pretty important. If you share these links via social, this is the photo that pops up. So I don't want the name of my brokerage to pop up. I want more information that's actually useful to my clients. So I'm going to click edit here, and I'm going to replace this photo with a photo of one of the houses that's representative by this area. So now again, remember we said, I believe, yeah, move-in ready with city views. I'm gonna open this up. And now these homes right here that I've already saved are very representative homes of this area. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one, and I'm gonna hit okay, and then I'm gonna hit add. Then we're gonna hit publish. And now we have a complete site. So let's go ahead and test it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the globe here, moving ready with views. So now the reason it didn't ask me to register is because it already knows who I'm in. I'm already logged in with my Google account. But to test that pop-up, copy that URL, open up your own incognito window, paste it in. There you go. Everything is working perfectly. They cannot get to it. Once they register, it opens it up like this. They can see all the homes, and they can get access to your ebook, and they can actually download the ebook so they can see it right away. And guess what? You have a brand new client that if your CRM is set up properly, in our case, it'll go Lofty, it'll get using Zapier going into our accelerator CRM, and they will start down the journey of a very customized, very high intent, very useful, non-spammy follow-up campaign. And when they are ready to reach out, they'll raise their hand or they'll take kind of some type of action, letting you know that it's time for you to reach out. So you don't have to make 100 calls a day. You have to make 10 to 10 people who have raised their hand, say, hey, I'm getting close to thinking about buying or selling. This is all using the Pareto systems, living 80-20, right? We all know this. I'm going to say it one more time. You're going to get 80% of your results from 20% of your effort. We help you focus on the right 20%. The last thing you may have questions on is going to be, how in the world do I create photos that I can use that actually I have the marketing rights to? Here's the thing, guys. You run a business. You need to take this very seriously. I see a lot of agents scalping other agents' photos. Can't do that. Do agents do it? Of course. But let's use technology to make sure we are compliant. The cool thing about building a real business, something that you're going to be really proud of, that you can scale without risk of litigation, is if just follow the right steps, right? Be a good person, follow the rules. Your MLS will reward you, your clients will reward you, and guess what? So will the big social platforms like Facebook. Instead of trying to go in there and putting it under miscellaneous, no, we're going to post these under real estate for sale. You're going to notice the algorithms these days have gotten rid of a lot of the spam. And so as long as you're following the platforms, whatever system that you're working in, their best practices, their systems will reward you with more exposure. Just some food for thought there. So how do you in the world do you create photos? So here's the thing, a quick little diatribe, I guess, on your IDX reciprocity. Now, of course, everything I'm about to say, make sure you talk to your own broker about. But here's typically how the IDX rules work. We have, as realtors, all agree to an IDX reciprocity agreement, meaning I can show other agents homes on my IDX website only. The site that you're looking at here is allowable. However, I cannot take these photos and put them on social media, even if I give credit to those other agents. The only way I can do that is if you have permission from each and every single agent. Now, that is just not a scalable way for you to run a business and to really give your clients access to all of the proper homes. You don't want to give them just homes to 4 homes that you ask permission for to view. Maybe those homes don't work for them, right? This is all about client first, okay? So for us to be client first, you need to find a way to where you can feed all of this information to your client. So now again, remember, if the home is actively on the MLS, active or active pending, you can actually show those homes on your IDX website, and that's why they show up there. However, that's why you don't have a lot of sold homes there, because after the home is sold in most IDXs, the IDX reciprocity agreements run out, and you can no longer use those sold photos because the agent or the photographer who took those photos actually have the marketing rights to it. So what do? Well, we go in and we ask AI to create the photos for us based on one of these properties. So I'm going to go and show you how to do that really quick. So I'm going to log into Grok AI. Grok right now is much faster. And again, things change all the time. As it is right now, it's much faster than all the other platforms in there on creating really good photorealistic photos of homes. So we're going to paste a photo in here of a real house. We're going to ask Grok to change that house. And once they change it, guess what? That property becomes yours. That is your marketing photo. It's almost like you literally driving out in front of the home in the street, taking a photo, right? If you did that, that of course is your photo that you can market with because it's taken from public domain. Now, I'm not an attorney, but there's a whole bunch of law around public domain. As long as these photos are from a public domain kind of source or a view, then you are going to be good to go. Of course, talk to any attorneys if you ever get that far, but you won't need to. Public domain is very, very well litigated out. So how to do that? Let's go ahead and we're going to open up, again, our search here. I'm going to click on see more, and I'm just going to do one of these. I would recommend do 3 for each one. But let's make an AI photo of this one right here. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on it again. Now it's open. Now I'm going to hit Start Shift S on my keyboard. That enters me into a screen share mode. So I'm going to, or a screen capture mode. So now I've screen captured just the photo, and I did not put obviously my MLS information in there, and I did not put the slider button here. You don't want that. It's going to screw up the AI photo. So now it's saved, or it's copied. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hit Control V for paste on my keyboard. And here's the prompt that you can use. Create a photorealistic daytime photo inspired by this photo. Slightly change the color of the home, right? We want to change it up just a bit. I'm going to hit search or execute and go. And in most other AIs, you're going to notice it's going to take you anywhere from 2.5 to about 7 minutes for one photo that honestly doesn't look very good. Grok is doing this in about, you'll see this is live, about 20 seconds. And there you go. So let's go ahead and just remind you of what that photo looked like. So it was brown, right? This is the shot we're looking for. And this is a darker brown, and this is a cool looking gray. So I'm going to hit this download on this cool looking gray one. I'm going to open it up. You always want to open these just to use with a fine tooth comb and take a look at it really quick. Make sure there's no AI oddities. Now, there's going to be some, it's never going to be perfect. But like, for instance, you'll notice, right, that the address is always blurred out, which is great. And also stamps it with Grok, which is also great. You do never want to tell people that this is actually a real house. Every time that you're marketing, you need to go in and make sure that they understand that this is just a representation of the homes that are in there. So anyways, there you go. That's how you do it. So then finally, you're going to go and create 3 of those. The last thing you're going to need to do on your website is come back, click on edit here. You're going to click on your background type. You don't want image, you want slideshow. Okay. Once you have your slideshow, you're going to go ahead and replace the images with the 3 photos you just created, AI photos that you created that you own the marketing rights to, that represent real homes from your list. So let's say this is the first one. I'm going to hit OK. Hit OK. I'm going to click Add Image. I'm going to upload another one. And last but not least, Add Image, Upload, and hit OK. Also, go ahead and get rid of the mobile image, because if you don't have any mobile images here, then the default will be to desktop images, and you want the same images in your desktop and mobile. Now, there is a place for mobile images, but we're not going to get into that here. And also, last update is that transition effect is slide, but you want to bring this down to 3 seconds. Okay, they're going to hit publish. Let's take a look at what it looks like. And now it is 100% complete. You have just set up a landing page from scratch that is specifically designed to convert clients at a very high rate. You are really, you're providing the information that your client is looking for. They're looking for a move-in ready home with views. You provided that. You're showing them on why you're a different kind of agent where you can help them save virtually $25,000 or $25,000 on virtually any home on the market. You can now do that. And you provided some additional educational material, which again, education is by far the best form of marketing. So hope that helps. If you have any questions, I'd love to see you guys on the inside of the Pareto Success Academy. Have a great one. See ya.